Welcome to a discussion of review by exception, outlier criteria intersection. Let's take the case where there's three outliers I want to work together. For example, I only want to review the samples compounds that have gone over a regulatory limit. In that case, I can use the sample amount outlier. I also have a criteria that the qualifier ratios must pass the regulatory limits. And in addition, I want confirmation that I get a library match score against a standard that's satisfactory. If all three of these criteria are met, I want to review that result and then approve it. Let's take a look at how the outliers are set up. First, library match score. You'll notice that if the library match score is below the limit, it's marked low. In a similar manner, the qualifier ratio, if it's below the limit, is marked low. The sample amount, if it's below the limit, it's marked low, and if it's above the limit, it is not marked. So the end result here is, for the cases I'm interested in, the positive results where all three of these criteria are met, they will all end up not marked as low, and I can filter them, and I'll show you that in a moment. Let's take a look at a demo of this review by exception workflow in Compounds at a Glance. Let's take a look in the method editor setting up the outliers. First, library match score. If we look at library match score minimum, you can see that it's set up to be 60 for all of the targets. If we look next at the qualifier ratios, you can see that they are set at a liberal uncertainty of 50, meaning they need to achieve that or they will be marked low. And last, sample amount. So I've got the limit low as 100. So anything lower than that, this is the reporting limit. And I've got the high, very high, so it would never be exceeded. So I mark these low, and anything else is marked as acceptable because it's above 100. Let's now apply this method to these samples, and we'll see that I'm going to inspect any finding that has not been eliminated by the outlier. So that includes anything marked as having a insufficient library match score, qualifier ratio, or sample amount, meaning reporting limit. So those will all be flagged, and you'll see that a number have been flagged here that don't satisfy those criteria. And we'll go over to Compounds at a Glance, which will give me the filtering to see only those results which I want to report. Let's take a look at Compounds at a Glance. Now in Compounds at a Glance, I am going to load a layout that I've saved here called Qualifier Criteria Intersection. So let's take a look at this. I've got the samples. I'm not going to include the ISTD. If I look at the compounds, I'm also going to exclude the ISTDs from this problem. And in the organization, I'm going to take the qualifier overlay. I'm going to look at samples. I'm going to wrap around. And last, the outliers. And as you expect, I've triggered the qualifier ratio, the library match score, and the sample amount. Now the important part here is to show the panes without the outliers, because I've set it up so that anything which is not satisfactory is triggered. So the only results that I'll see are those that have reportable results that fit the criteria. I can review those and approve those. So let's see what that looks like here. So what you'll see here is the high concentration sample obviously exceeds this sample amount, but what is also satisfied is that the library match scores for all of these is satisfied, as well as the qualifier ratios are satisfied for all of these results. And here, if I want, I can go in and proceed with manual integration, etc. But when I'm finished, I can then approve the sample and proceed on to deliver those results. Thanks for your attention.